Alright guys, here we go. New project, important project. What's going on? Tech stuff, guys. I'm trying to figure my life out here. I guess maybe I've been kind of scared to try to go down this route of trying to enter the tech field. I guess I tried with, are they considered soft skills? You know, because in sciences you would call like certain things like soft sciences or whatever. So I'm curious to know with tech, when you're kind of doing like either sales with tech or digital marketing, which is kind of like techy, but it's like you're not quite like building computers or whatever. What's considered still tech? It's all kind of relevant. Jumping. So if anyone's been following kind of my journey with these things, I've at this point I've gone through some courses, mostly through Course Careers, and some other kind of self-taught, I guess self-educating DIY project. And you know, I guess if I were to talk about my experiences other than hobby related things, I have, you know, dabbled with rebuilding a couple laptops in certain ways. One of them was, I guess, reseating the GPU because it kind of fried because I was gaming a lot. Now this was maybe back when I first moved to San Diego, within the first 3 years when I was in San Diego, because I remember which apartment I was at. And yeah, at that time I think that I'd opened up my old HP laptop to try to fix the jack and resolder the jack on, and I did end up doing that. But then I think I put too much silver solder and it shorted out. I am not a pro at soldering, and that's definitely something I want to practice. And then I opened up the computer for this GPU situation. Basically, you're supposed to reheat there's these little balls on the bottom of the graphics card, or one part of the graphics card, that I reheated. I might post those on the Gaming Compute podcast. It's like old footage. This is old, from like probably a decade ago now. This was on a gaming laptop, an Asus G73 Republic of Gamers gaming laptop. Back then it was like awesome. And then from that point on, I think I tried to fix my sister's, that she had accidentally poured like coffee or hot chocolate or something on. I still have her laptop. Now, with the lessons I'm learning right now, because I have tech prep work for this course that's I'm not going to talk about the name of the course, but it's supposed to start November 10th. I've been in the process of applying for a while now, and the tech prep work is, I think it's optional but recommended. And then I scheduled my interview for next Thursday. The class starts November 10th, and it's a 16-week course, so it's going to go through February. I'm scared, I'm excited, I'm hoping I can do it. With my health conditions, situations, and how that impacts my brain, That's the main worry that I have. But I also know that I've got some background. I've definitely got interest in these topics. They are things that I like to dabble in, even in my spare time. I do fall off from it. I do kind of like go like months, if not like a couple years here and there without really like having any projects. But I've dabbled with like Raspberry Pi and Python programming and a lot of little things like that. So I'm not like so cold. I'm just not so up to date and like anything like that. Yeah. Um, I'm excited a little bit, but I'm also kind of like, am I gonna like start another new thing now? Because the other ones, they they partially didn't work out because of my own self. Um, I think at a certain point, I wasn't into it enough to apply the way that I needed to. I definitely have a lot of applications in, but it's not over a short period of time, 200 to 300 applications. And one of the certifications with digital marketing, I know that nobody from the course hardly has found work. So one of them is sales, one of them is digital marketing, and then also with people saying, with the job market, tech is not, the best field. A lot of these major companies are laying people off, but also tech is kind of where we're at in society. In all honesty, I don't think tech is gonna like fully be obsolete. All the stuff with AI, I really don't know. I have my own personal opinions, but I don't really know what to think or feel. And then, I'm gonna have to finish all this stuff, all this work. I'm not bummed about it. I'm excited, and I've been doing all these workouts and stuff as far as like exercising more and working on my health. So I'm pretty like excited about a lot of the choices I'm making lately. I'm just not, I don't know. It's getting into the groove of it. I mean, I did a 30-day Shotokan karate challenge of learning Shotokan karate, as much of the white belt as I could learn. I reached the goal of learning one kata, Taikyoku Shodan. I started doing 75 hard. I'm the third week into a modified version of that because I do have like this health thing going on that I'm like, it finally caught me on Monday of this week, and it's Friday right now. So, oh, buddy. All right. People just darting out in the middle of, brave people darting out in the middle of traffic. But yeah. I understand that the money early on with help desk is probably in the 40 to 50K range, but I do think the future potential for work opportunity and pay rate sounds more towards what I'm trying to get to. And I feel like, in all honesty, reasons why I didn't fully pursue the sales and digital marketing stuff, I mean, I've been doing my own like commission only stuff and my own kind of my own like digital marketing stuff, and practicing my own skills and like interning and doing different things. But as far as like really taking it seriously of landing like full-time work, I could kind of tell, I was like, I'm not so into it. Coming out of the field of psychology, there are things in that field that I definitely like. The helpfulness to people, kind of on a deeper level. I felt like sales is kind of like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. I'm not saying it's not helpful, but definitely I was thinking about it more, and I was like, I really don't want to be cold calling people. I mean, I did it for psych, but it was more like, it wasn't that cold, and I guess if you call them leads, they were patients that were already linked in our system and already qualified for services. We just had to screen them and get them to opt in if that's what they wanted to kind of pursue. So my role was kind of like educating them on what they are, what they have available, and trying to help them recognize all their options, that we were one of those options that could help them and help them to connect to services and help them with their time newly discharging out of the hospital from a severe health condition. Scheduling their appointments, scheduling transportation, making all those calls and stuff that nobody wants to do, navigating the healthcare system, getting them appointments with new providers, all, as well as like connecting to shelters, food banks, other types of financial support services, language related services, all kinds of things, just so that they could spend more time focusing on trying to like organize their own recovering process and not spending all day on the phone and being bounced back and forth around the system, like, oh, this doctor isn't in your network and that one is, and all this kind of stuff, like trying to like make that process a little smooth for them. But there were so many deaths, when I reflect on it, I'm like, we had like 5 to 7 deaths in 3 months of me working there, and I was like, I can't do this, I had, what was going on with my health condition, that was August of 2024, I hadn't had any results or relief from it until maybe November, December of 2024, I didn't, like, so I was still kind of like, in a mindset of like, this condition might stay bad, and I'm not going to be able to like, work in this field with these problems, because now I've got my own problems. And then once the condition got a little more manageable, instead of having 10 good days a month, now it's more like 26 good days a month or so, and so I'll take it. It's better than what it was for sure. But I'm not gonna let it get in my way. It's just a lot to try to navigate, and I am doing what I can to navigate it. I can't really do much more than what I'm doing, and keep pace with everything else. I'm trying, but as far as my my kind of like take on a lot of this health stuff, that definitely interfered. And then as far as the motivation towards what I want to do, the cold calling part and just kind of like the distance, I guess the distance with digital marketing is something that I don't really like as much. It's like, yeah, you're helping clients with their businesses and things. I like the creative process of it. I like the analytics. I like the tracking. I'm into like stats and research. I went to school. My degree in psychology is through research. But I stumbled into clinical and kind of stayed working in clinical, even though I do have research experience, but most of my work experience is probably majority clinical at this point. But my schooling was majority research. Pretty much almost all research, with the exception of maybe like portions of like 2 years, maybe 1.5 years or so, portions of that. Wow, that surfboard that I crossed the other day is still there. I'm trying to see these garage sale signs. Dang, I missed it. I'm gonna back up though. I'm on a weird corner. Let me see. Maybe I'll go this way. Maybe I'll see. Does it say? Dude, I can't read the sign. It's so small. Let's see if I can read it. I'm trying to get myself in a weird accident. 8 to 12. Saturday. I think it's this direction. I'm gonna try to go around. Okay. Let's see if I can see the sign. Didn't see what they'll have a sign on the street. So yeah, they're having a garage sale tomorrow. I might pop in. I'm looking for maybe Curb Alert computers. Okay, there's a table out front here, so maybe that's it. Maybe not. I don't really see it, but I think it's gonna be on this street tomorrow, so I might just come back over tomorrow and see if I can find it if I'm out early, which I probably will be. I could take my walk over here, check it out. But yeah, I'm trying to level up career-wise, and I've been taking some risks. I kind of know what I want to be doing. There's some stuff that I'm kind of avoiding because of fear, and I do have like a fear of failure, but at the same time, I've honestly reached the point now where I'm like, how Dave Ramsey says that whole thing about being sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm kind of at that point right now where I'm like, let me just do something that I at least like. If I'm gonna go into the training and into the schooling of it, I at least like this kind of stuff. So let me lean into it more, especially because I have a potential opportunity to get through the training with a program that has about an 80% success rate, and I'm connected with a job support program where the job counselor and that program knows some of the people in this in the course, and it's a reputable course. So I'm doing the tech prep work. I'm doing, planning about the interview. I might dabble in some hardware related stuff if I can get my hands on some things. I do have a laptop that does need repair, so once we get into that section, which is coming up next, I'm gonna look at it more and maybe dabble firsthand with some of these old laptops I've got 3 motherboards. 2 of them go to one laptop, and then one of them goes to my sister's old one. But I guess with my sister's old one, I don't remember what I did with the screws or which screw goes in where. But with mine, I have this other Asus gaming laptop that it's a jack repair. I know that it works because I tested it before and it worked. But then once I reassembled everything, it seemed to not work. So maybe it was maybe I botched the soldering yet again. And I'm guessing I may have shorted out that board or parts of that board. I'm not 100% sure, but that's my best guess. So I'm going to try to go in and either test. I have a voltmeter. I need to test both of those motherboards and see which one works, which one's working better, which one works. I need to test them and see which one's working. If either one of them is working. But I need to finish the assignments first. So that's kind of where I'm at. I guess once I finish this part, or even the interview part, I'll record a bit about those steps. Possibly once I finish everything, I might talk about which program it was. I don't really want to talk about it specifically because I don't know if they've got like rules. And I've already had an experience recently where I was meeting some people and I gave out my email to kind of get some. I entered my email on their website to try to get connected with a live person locally who's kind of like within this community group. And I guess one of the people kind of looked up my information, and I'm like, I don't know what they found. Like, I'm podcasting all over the place, and I'm just like, I don't know what they found. They didn't seem put off by it. They had some questions, but I was like, I'm not trying to talk about them or anything personal or like call people out or anything like that. I'm not really trying to do all that. And so I'm really trying to, protect my own self as well as the people around me. I'm not trying to make problems for anybody, basically. But I do want to get this stuff done, and I do want to do it right and well, and I want to see how far I can get. Classes 9 to 4, Monday through Friday for 16 straight weeks. Sounds intense. I mean, I'm going to have the mental strength and the physical strength and the emotional strength to kind of deal with that. I mean, 16 weeks in the scope of things is not bad, and compared to what I've experienced with grad school, I mean, I was definitely doing more time in grad school than that. So, but I don't know, this is not grad school anymore, and my health isn't what it was, and my mental isn't where it was, but I also have a wealth of knowledge and reflection and awareness about myself that I did not have back in my 20s. And so, or 30s even. I've had one thing about having to slow down with health things is that I did take advantage of the time and the energy that I had from it somewhat so that I could learn about myself, and I definitely spent so much time doing that. And so I know kind of where the discipline areas fall short and what strategies I can use with a lot of things. I'm at the point right now with a lot of it, honestly, where I'm just like, I need to do it. I need to do the stuff. It's a matter of doing it and making those choices in real time. That's kind of where I'm at with it now. Isn't so much like, oh, I didn't even notice. It's more like I noticed and I actively chose to do the opposite thing that I knew was going to be a better choice. Like sometimes I'm still actively choosing the wrong choice, but it's active. It's not like surprising anymore. So much, with some things, but not with everything. At one point, it was like I don't know what's going on, and every day I'm just like waking up, like flailing around and hoping I come out on top somewhere. But right now, I'm like I don't feel like that. It's been like a couple years past that, and now I feel good being out of mental health. It's taken me almost like 2 to 3 years to kind of like screw my head back on a little bit tighter, I'd say. I'm looking forward to this upcoming week. I really don't have a lot of negative stuff to say. I'm just kind of like this isn't supposed to be negative stuff anyways, but I'm excited. That's basically what I'm trying to say is I'm excited about all this. I got in and out. I don't want it to get cold or soggy. I'm about to go in and eat, and then I got some yerba mate, and I'm going to study as long as I can and work out too. I need to fit in a second workout for today for my 75 hard workout plan. I'm starting the 3rd week. Today's the start of the 3rd week, or actually it's the 2nd day of the 3rd week. All right. Let me let these old neighbors pass by. I don't quite like interacting with them. All right. That's it for now.